We are following some breaking news out of Iran after Iran threatens President Trump. Take a look at this social media post right now, sharing more details of this threat. This is from the New York Post saying Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target. And they also shared a photo of one of the assassination attempts against President Trump. All of this coming as protests continue to escalate.
I'm sitting here ready to give you guys an update about the new Ayatollah being chosen and the votes in Iran, them getting bombed out of existence, Iran's airspace shut down. I mean, there is so much happening with Iran. A whole bunch of people talking about Iran is actually going to win the war. The United States of America has no idea what they got themselves into. But then I ran into this quote from ABC that Trump told them. And I had to read this because it says here, I got him before he got me. He tried to kill me twice. Well, I got him first. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I got the chills. Like, I was like, yo, this is a real quote. I had to go verify if this was a real quote. It's a real quote. And you know that trending worldwide right now from all Americans that Trump is a gangster. So I'm going to show you guys all of this that's going on. But first, let's actually go to the serious stuff. We got big news today from Trey Yinks out of Fox News. Apparently, the Supreme Council, the Iranian Supreme Council, was counting the votes to appoint the next supreme leader when Israel struck the meeting. So apparently, Israel and the United States of America are still gathering information. I guess Mossad, CIA, they're cooking right now. The war against Iran, they're cooking. We also got to talk about Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer and Spain. Apparently, the European Union, they have been captured. Like, they do not want to show the United States of America any love.
Ordinary breaking news. Donald Trump has told The Telegraph he is, quote, very disappointed in Keir Starmer for initially blocking him from using Diego Garcia military base. You know, that's in the Chagos to carry out strikes on Iran.
And let them use any bases. And apparently, during this Keir Starmer video where he's trying to stay relevant, right? Because the UK and the entire Europe is just non-existent at this point. And so he was basically apologizing for working with the United States of America to bomb Iran. So let's actually go to the first update here, ladies and gentlemen, where Trump is basically coming out and saying, you know, he's revealing that Iran's would-be new leaders are being wiped out before they can even take power. But he did say something that's very, very interesting to the people of the United States of America. He says, you'll have a third wave again soon. Well, we won't know anybody. Most of these people we had in the mind are dead. We have another group, they may be dead also. So the wave of the new leaders of Iran are being wiped out. Meanwhile, you have people like Ilhan Omar, Zoran, and everybody else, you know, basically kind of hurt by the fact that Iran is getting bombed. Take a listen to Trump here.
That could happen. We don't want that to happen. It would probably be the worst. You go through this, and then in 5 years, you realize you put somebody in who is no better. So we'd like to see somebody in there that's going to bring it back for the people. And we'll see what happens with the people. You know, they have their chance. And we've said, don't do it yet. If you're going to go out and protest, don't do it yet. It's very dangerous out there. A lot of bombs are being dropped. But I would say that would be about the worst.
Do you have someone in mind right now? Because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you think?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, you know, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody. But we have... I mean, Venezuela was so incredible because we did the attack and we kept government totally intact. And we have.
So at least he's keeping it real. I mean, guys, like, he's keeping it real. He wants leadership in Iran that you can work with, just like in Venezuela. And unfortunately for them, they're all getting bombed out of existence. So just earlier, apparently, you know, the Iranian Supreme Council was counting the votes. And then this alert went out to everybody is that all these people are being wiped out from the face of the earth.
On the ground just outside of Tel Aviv. Good morning, Trey. Yeah, Bill, Dana, good morning. I do want to just start with some breaking news here before I show you the scene of one of these cluster munition impacts just outside of Tel Aviv. But I'm told by a senior Israeli official that the Israelis just struck the Supreme Council gathering where the Iranians were meeting to choose a new supreme leader. This is a significant development and again speaks to the Israeli intelligence about this war. They just targeted the meeting in Tehran where what's left of the leadership was gathering to choose a new supreme leader. The Iranians are continuing their attacks against Israel. Right now, we are in the community of Bnei Brak. It's a religious community outside of Tel Aviv. And you can see where the police and first responders say part of a cluster munition that was attached to the warhead of a ballistic missile slammed into this apartment block. 7 people were wounded, 1 woman moderately. And I want to just show you the scene here in Bnei Brak. You can see the amount of destruction behind me. There is debris and rubble all over this community. And again, police and first responders say it's a miracle that no one was killed. People were home at the time, and this entire area is filled with children because the Israelis are celebrating the holiday of Purim. And so just a remarkable scene here. You can see that all of these kids are dressed up for Purim. This is considered one of the most joyful holidays in Judaism. It commemorates the events of the Book of Esther. And it is when the Jews of ancient Persia were saved by a plot to destroy them. And so this is a holiday here where people dress up in costumes and they celebrate. And this whole neighborhood is filled with families and children. And thankfully, none of them were seriously injured or killed by this missile attack. But this came, as you saw live on Fox, in a large barrage launched from the Iranian regime. And
they didn't kill anybody. Look, we've lost some soldiers, but man, Iran is just they're not that badass. Here's Trump talking about, Iran. They have no Navy. It's been knocked out. They have no Air Force. It's been knocked out. Here's Trump basically informing everybody that these people are getting wiped out.
They have no Navy. It's been knocked out. They have no Air Force. It's been knocked out. They have no air detection. That's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out. They're going to be in for a lot of hurt. These are bad people. These are people that killed. I guess it's 35,000. It's coming out 35,000 over the last 3 weeks. Protesters, 35,000 violently killed. So these are bad people. And the leader of the pack is gone. And as you know, 49 people were taken out in the first hit. And I guess there was another hit today on the new leadership. And it looks like that was pretty substantial also.
So I want to go to the reaction of the American people because Trump is trending all over the United States of America. And this is kind of like a backfire against, the Democrats of how Trump is looked at in the United States for what he is doing. Take a listen to this.
Donald Trump is gangster. One thing we can never say is that our president is scary. I ain't want to speak on too many politics, but our president is about that life. That man is the white version of 50 Cent. No, for real. Like, this man is straight. Turned all the lights off, bombed that mug, snatched the president, put his butt in a Nike Tech and dropped him in New York. And I'm not finna say I like Donald Trump. I am not a Trumpy. But what I can say is that Donald Trump is a real Gemini.
Hey, I don't support Trump, but you got to give it to that gangster. That nigga got on the thing and said about the president that got killed in Iran. He said, that nigga basically said, I simply got him before he got me. That nigga gangster, bro. You might not like it. I don't like him either, but that nigga gangster. That is gangster.
A few hours ago, in this exact same fit, I made a video about this man, and now the mission is over. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. At what point are y'all gonna give this man credit? I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not a Trumpy, but I respect that man's gangster. Whenever McDonald Trump says we finna do something, I'm gonna be honest with you, there is every part of my body that believes that he's gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do. Like when it comes to foreign affairs, when it comes to handling business overseas, what on his track record shows me that he's not gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do? Talking about, yo, it was daytime when I made that video, and now it's nighttime, and the mission is over. Like, you can't hate on the efficiency.
This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion to a lot of people, but I would rather have a president who takes action and does what he says he's going to do than a president who sits around and just signs executive orders all day. Love him or hate him, he does what he says he's going to do. He protects the American people. God bless America. And he's out here getting shit done, love him or hate him. I don't want a president who sits behind his desk all day. Okay? Okay.
All right. So it's not astonishing. Like, I'm not even surprised by this, but you saw a similar reaction, where a bunch of Americans just got together on social media and basically don't support Trump, but celebrate the fact that this is something they've never seen before. So the narrative has completely done a backflip on a lot of Democrats. And so that's me informing you guys on what's going on. Now let's actually move on to Keir Starmer, right? Keir Starmer, he had like an update that went viral. It's 5 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you guys got to listen to this guy. It's like he's being held hostage, and he's basically talking, but he's apologizing at the same time. And I want you guys to understand what I mean when I say this. Take a listen.
Yesterday, I spoke to you about the situation in the Gulf and explained that the United Kingdom was not involved in the strikes on Iran. That remains the case. Over the last 2 days, Iran has launched sustained attacks across the region at countries who did not attack them. They've hit airports and hotels where British citizens are staying. This is clearly a dangerous situation. We have at least 200,000 British citizens in the region, residents, families on holiday, and those in transit. I ask all our people in the region to please register your presence and follow Foreign Office travel advice. I know this is a deeply worrying time, and we will continue to do all we can to support you. Our armed forces, who are located across the region, are also being put at risk by Iran's actions. Yesterday, Iran hit a military base in Bahrain, narrowly missing British personnel. The death of the supreme leader will not stop Iran from launching these strikes. Their approach is becoming even more reckless and more dangerous to civilians. Our decision that the UK would not be involved with the strikes on Iran was deliberate.
Okay, so he's getting to the part, right, where he's doing this thing that Spain is also doing, right? Spain apparently decided to deny the United States of America from using any naval bases. Trump said, doesn't matter, and we'll use whatever we want. But that lets you know exactly the state of Europe. And this guy talk about, we deliberately are not getting involved. We are not going to get involved. And many people are saying, well, it's because pretty much Islam has pretty much taken over Europe, right? So he's got to appear to, I guess, the voter base. It's a weird dynamic. That's what a lot of people are saying. I think it's a lot further than that. I think this guy's pretty much scared, right? I don't know what happened to Europe. I don't know what happened to the United Kingdom, right? But this guy sounds like we did not attack you guys. We have nothing to do. They said, like, a lot of Americans are celebrating Trump doing this, but there's a lot of Americans making videos talk about, hey, Iran, we didn't do anything to you. We didn't do anything. That's how you know Iran had people in a chokehold mentally as to how tough they were versus, who they are. There was a lot of people that have come out and said that Iran is going to win the war, that Iran is more powerful beyond measures. The United States has no idea what they've gotten themselves into. And so I think Keir Starmer is probably in that group where he's just scared. And that, to me, I don't think the United States of America wants to live like that, where they're constantly trying to deal with a certain group of people, and they are either uncontrollable or they are providing fear onto the region. So whether you like Israel or not, Israel is getting the intelligence, and they are attacking, and they're wiping them out. If this is done within less than a month, or less than 4 weeks, to as powerful as Iran was supposed to be, that says a lot about what the people said about Iran not being true. So we got a lot of updates here, but you got Keir Starmer basically backing down, kind of saying, hey, we're gonna let the United States use our naval bases, but we really have nothing to do with this. Like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? And you got Trump basically coming out and saying, hey, we got to deal with new leadership there, and all these different things that are going on. So again, let me know what you guys think down below about all of this. These are all developing. Everything's developing each and every day. There's new developments. And so I would love to know what you guys think about what the future holds. And I would definitely love to talk more about our internal issues in the United States of America, especially with Texas elections. But I just had to give you guys this update.